I don't think I do it.
But Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. The reason I have this like strange, pensive look on my face is for some reason my Wi-Fi has just gone a bit dodgy. And it's sorted. Panic over. Here we go. Welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. And of course, the newest segment, the Leeds United. No. Oh God, that was poor, wasn't it? The whole Wi-Fi being dodgy threw me off. I do apologise. Welcome back to Late Night Leeds, the new show, the new thing that we're going to move with on the Just Joe Football Show. Please subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell and all that jazz. Just forgot to put my nice little flashy light behind me. This is what happens when I'm early, you see. This is what happens when I'm early, folks. Let's change that colour anyway. It's a little bit red. What should we try? Should we try Arctic Auroras? Here we go. Don't really kick, does it, with the white background? What about Adrift? That looks quite nice. We'll go for that. Turn that up a little bit. There we go. We've got the Adrift on. Philips Hue. Amazing they are. Yeah, listen. Late Night Leeds is a thing. Do you remember the Daily Leeds? But no, we're going Late Night Leeds. I just think it'll fit in nicely with work and everything like that. I've got a week off though currently, so I'm not working, so that's why I was able to go live during the day today. But Late Night Leeds, yes. Of course, just to give you an idea, we will react daily during the day like we did today if any sort of news comes. But my plan is at the end of each evening is just to round everything off, yeah? So I've got a few news stories, some good, some bad, some that I don't really believe, but that's the whole point, right? There's a load of rumors out there, and we'll chat about them, and I'll give you my opinion on. But before we do that, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. I love this t-shirt, by the way, and it was at my ex's, and I didn't realize it was there. She was like, "Oh, I found your t-shirt, by the way," and I was like, "Yeah, sick t-shirt." So straight away, put that one on. I hope you're doing well. Anyway, thanks for being here as always. Like a young Jonathan Ross. I don't know about that. An old Worry? I don't know why. Sorry, Worry. He's got an issue with his R's, hasn't he? Anyway, I'm chatting beans now. I'm chatting bubbles. First thing I'm going to do, which I'm going to continue to do until I have completed the walk, is, of course, to remind you all that in just over 2 weeks' time, I will be doing the Gary Speed walk for charity for Andy's Man Club and the Samaritans. We are walking from Everton's football ground all the way to Ellen Road over 3 separate days. If you please can donate, that would be amazing if you could do that. Listen, it's a lot of pain on the last day. Previously, when I did it, I literally cried for the full day. The full walk from Huddersfield to Leeds, I cried because it just broke me mentally and physically. Score Goal says, "Hello, Leeds fans. Hope you're keeping well. We'll be seeing you soon, bro. We will be seeing you soon. Don't worry about that." Chris S says all the best on Sunday. Sitting with his feet up now. Sitting with his feet up now because he's safe, you know. You can surely run that walk. Oh, trust and believe me, it is bad. It is bad. Tight CMC said, "Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Leeds United are going down." A bit of a WWE reference there. Mate, don't come with the WWE reference. We've got them all locked off here. Yeah, man, we've got them all locked off here, man. Remember the Top Flight News Bite? I do. I'd love to do it, but it just didn't get off the ground. But I really enjoyed that as well myself, Formula Sunny. Maybe it probably would do now. It probably would do, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Are you ready?
Right, okay, yes, JWJ Bar. Anyone who was watching earlier, apparently this talk of Nonto being homesick, it was lost in translation. Apparently what he did say is when he gets homesick, he goes to a restaurant in Leeds called San Carlo, and he goes and eats Italian food and speaks Italian with them. Someone actually reached out to me on Instagram and told me about that as well, so that's where that's come from. Lost in translation. Jimmy, it definitely didn't, man. You don't know about the bloodline, bro. You don't know about the bloodline. You do not know about Cody Rhodes. It's not, man. I've just been watching it there. I've got Monday Night Raw still to watch as well, but it is what it is. Anyway, right. Let's get into tonight's news then. There is many things that we will discuss. I've got a few articles we'll go through, but first of all, let me bring to you this news, okay? This is from MLS Transfers. I'm going to quickly share my screen with you now so you can see this. So this is the news, apparently, that Leeds United have made it clear to Brendan Aronson that he is expected to stay at the club for the 23-24 season, regardless of if they stay in the Premier League or get relegated to the Championship. And I guess, look, this also piggies back on what was said in Phil Hayes' article earlier on about Willie Nonto, about Tyler Adams, that Leeds United hold the aces in the pack. They hold all the cards because these players are on long-term deals that don't have release clauses. And we can say to them, you're staying put because we're coming back. Yeah. The thing is with Brendan, though, if I'm being totally honest, if he can't deal with the physicality in the Premier League, best believe he's going to get buoyed off in the Championship. But it is what it is. And then Ethan Online, who is a Twitter account and has ball knowledge, sort of, you know, what I've seen from a lot of the comments in response to the Nonto and Adams potentially Leeds United wanting to hold on to them, you know, a lot of people going, no, not a chance, that's not going to happen. And then, you know, Ethan Online on Twitter actually made this point, and I think it's a great point, that if you remember when Villa went down, Villa kept Jack Grealish for 3 years in that league, even though at the time people were saying it was the right time to sell, etc. There's been a number of occasions where teams have gone down and been able to hold on to better players. You could look at, you could even look at Watford. You could even look at Watford because remember when they went down, they kept Ismail Assar, do you remember? And Emmanuel Dennis. They kept them for that first season. So Leeds United can flex their muscles and say, listen, Tyler, you're staying. Aronson, you're staying. There's some people that'll think Aronson could work in the Championship. I'm not too sure, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, right? I'm just going to have a quick drink. Also, great, another shout. Sonny says, Sander Berg, Buendia as well, stayed when they went down. So it does happen. It does happen. So that's something that we have to remember. You know, straight away, it just gets kiboshed out. Everyone says, oh, not a chance these players are staying, etc. You know, they're this, they're that, they're going to move on. Well, we have actual recent experiences of it working, of João Pedro at Watford, for example. Exactly. These players staying put for that first couple of seasons. And as it says in the article, that does happen because you get parachute payments for 3 seasons. So there's the opportunity to say, do you know what? We're going to keep these. We're going to keep these for a little bit. Chris S says Grealish is a Villa fan, massive difference. No, but they're still, yeah, I'm not too sure actually if it's a massive difference, but I get why you make that point for sure. I get why you make that point. I'm just going to have a quick check on tweets here just because my notifications have been going off. Let's have a look. Apparently, Melier has been sold. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's have a look. I don't know. Melier could be already on his way out, according to some that are, in the know. In the know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And Leeds United are not DJ Rosa. Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to be funny? Come on now. Right, okay. So we'll start with this, right? Because I quote tweeted this tweet a little bit earlier on, and I just wanted to garner opinion within the viewers of the Just Joe Football Show. Obviously, Mateo Joseph been lighting it up in the Premier League 2, Division 2, and he, was voted to be the player of the season. Obviously, 21 games, 16 goals, 3 hat-tricks and 1 promotion. Is also currently with the England setup. And I quote tweeted this and just said, look, I believe that Mateo Joseph, or I want to see Mateo Joseph get minutes in the Championship next season, right? And that sort of like brings me on nicely to the article which was doing the rounds. I think it was the YEP. Yes, it was the YEP. Just then, basically, Joe Gelhardt has said his goodbyes to Sunderland. Obviously, we know that Joe Gelhardt has been on loan in Sunderland and he will return to Leeds United in this season. He joined them in January, getting valuable minutes under his belt, and he played 20 times during his time at Sunderland and contributed to 6 goal-scoring moments, including 2 important goals against Hull and Middlesbrough, respectively. The forward played every single league match since joining Sunderland and started all but 2 of them, so was used quite a lot. Obviously, he's at Leeds United till 2027, so it's likely the club will be making plans for him to be further integrated into the first team. He did say, look, thank you, everyone. I enjoyed every minute. He will rejoin the Leeds ranks this summer, but which league will he be playing in remains to be seen. And the reason I just wanted to talk about that is just to get people's opinion on Joffy, on Mateo Joseph, on Sam Greenwood, on Darko JB, on Archie Gray. Like, who do we see have been of sufficient quality to play for Leeds United in the Championship? And I keep saying Championship because I believe that's where we'll be. Leeds United would have to win and Everton and Leicester would have to lose, or Everton lose and Leicester draw. There's only 2 situations in which Leeds United, and guess what? We're not even probably going to win. We're not even probably going to win the game that we need to. Won't surprise me if results go our way and we still don't win the game that we're supposed to. Right. So I just wanted to guess, my question to you folks is, was Joffy overhyped? Is Joffy overhyped? Does he still need time? Yeah. Mateo Joseph, I really, really like the look of. I think he's, for me, from bits I've seen, even when he's played in the first time, when he's played off the left, I think he's shown me more than what I've seen from Sonny Perkins, for example. But, who am I to make a judgment on these players? Because I said Cree Somerville won't be no good. Do you know what I mean? But he's very good. So I just wanted to see what people's opinions were. Now, I know Jamie made the point about some Sunderland fans not being happy with him. I live in Sunderland, obviously, and I go to the bookies a bit and speak to them. And it genuinely seems to split opinion. So I work with a few Sunderland fans. Some say he's rubbish. Others say, no, he's good. He does this well. He's a workhorse, etc. But I don't really know if you can define Joffy's position. What is his position? That's the thing. He's not a 9 that works in our system. For sure, I don't think. So it's going to be interesting what Joffy... Because if you remember, we had one of the hottest prospects. Like, I think, there was a lot of clubs after him, not just Leeds United. And Victor Orta was able to convince him, along with Bielsa, to make that move to Leeds United. But I don't know if we have slightly overhyped him. If we drop down, will he get minutes? Will you be looking to... Would you be happy, for example, if you're starting the season next season with Joffy leading the line, or with Mateo Joseph, or... That's the dog you can hear just chewing his treats, by the way. But... system, we have a system. We used to have a system, bro, didn't we? Let's have a look at some of your comments just on the youngsters. 8 Ball Ali says Perkins great, JB already. Mateo Joseph looks ready for Championship, but might need 4 or 5 games to adapt. I'd say Mateo Joseph is more ready than the others. Maybe not Darko JB, but that's just my opinion. But that's to be expected with any player from a different league. We know that Sonny Perkins got minutes in Europe actually when he was at West Ham, only a couple of minutes here and there. Yeah, so it's just going to be interesting. Obviously, you know, Joffrey is returning. Will he get minutes in the first team? If we're in the Premier League, it's a hard no for me. I don't think he gets minutes in the Premier League, and he'll look to have another loan. If we're in the Championship, then maybe he'll be used some more. We'll have to wait and see. Now, sticking in the striker front, obviously we know that Rodrigo is one of the top earners at Leeds United. He's scored a lot of goals this season for Leeds United, which means he's been linked to a number of clubs. Now, I've seen him linked to a return. Well, not a return, sorry, but a return to Spain. I was going to say a return to his former club, but obviously he was at Valencia. But Rodrigo Moreno has been linked to Atletico Madrid, but in recent times, he's been linked to Aston Villa. So maybe Rodrigo Moreno could see himself stay in the Premier League. So this is from Birmingham Live. They've said that Rodrigo's already set out his Leeds United transfer stance. The transfer stance was from a couple of months ago when he did say, why won't it let me scroll up? Oh, there we go. No, I do not want you to think. So it says, reported Aston Villa transfer target Rodrigo has already set out his stance on a potential Leeds United exit. The striker is the latest name to be linked with a move to Villa after reports emerged stating Unai Emery has asked the club to sign the Leeds striker in the summer transfer window. So it says Rodrigo spoke about his future last December, saying his family had adapted well to living in England and that he feels comfortable in the country. But other than that, he was coy about verbally committing his long-term future to Leeds United. We know that he has a deal ending very soon. He's one of our top earners. Leeds United will look to move him on. He's not going to play in the Championship. And back in December 2022, he did say, it's difficult to say where my future lands. Football can change good or bad in a really small time. But he did say, I'm happy here. I'm happy in this country, which has then maybe give Villa the hope of being able to keep him in the Premier League instead of returning back to Spain. Unai Emery obviously will have, we'll know a lot about him. Obviously was at Valencia for a period of time. I don't think their paths crossed though during that time. I think Unai Emery came after or before, maybe, I'm not too sure. But when I initially seen the link, I thought, oh, right, okay, were they together there? But they weren't. But yeah, Aston Villa could be an option for Rodrigo Moreno. I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money. He could come on as another option outside of Ollie Watkins, and has already shown this season, he can score goals. He can score goals. So one to keep an eye on, of course, is the fact that Rodrigo Moreno could be on his way to Aston Villa. Look, this one, we know what it's like at Leeds United. When you're linked to a player at Leeds United, you are continuously linked to this player until he moves on from that football club. And that one man is, of course, Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent has or isn't going to be retained by Rangers this summer. He isn't going to sign a new deal. And we know that Leeds United have continuously held Ryan Kent in high regard. Previously at Liverpool, moved to Rangers. But I think that was very much under the guise of Victor or of Marcelo Bielsa. We know that Bielsa was a fan of Ryan Kent. I don't think it's one Leeds United will go for. I just think because he's previously been linked to us in the past, they're just making that easy clickbaity title. So I'm not sitting here now saying we should move for Ryan Kent, folks, by the way. I'm just saying this is out there, but it's more so a case of he's been linked in the past, so we're going to throw that one out there. I don't think he's suited to... I mean, Championship maybe so, but I wouldn't imagine Premier League for me anyway. And look, he's on 18 grand a week. It expires this summer. It doesn't look like he'll sign an extension. We know, like it says here, transfer expert Jones claimed that Leeds' potential move for Kent could be scuppered if they go down this weekend. I'm not sure he's a Premier League player, right? I wouldn't say so. He has had wrapped up 90 goal contributions, 33 goals and 57 assists in 218 appearances for the Scottish Premier Giants. But yeah, look, I'm not sure that's a mover. I don't know what you thoughts thinks, but yeah. Hard pass, I think. Hard pass. We've had a super chat coming from Smithers who says, I get we've not been good enough, but what gets my goat is Everton have clearly breached FFP. It's not even close. To relegate a team that's followed the rules is disgusting. Never mind who finishes 18th. It is what it is, mate. I get it. If we go down and they get a points deduction the season after, but these things happen all the time. Look at Sheffield United with West Ham. Do you remember when West Ham fielded ineligible players in Mascherano and Tevez, and then Sheffield United got booted out of the league under Neil Warnock? It happens. There's nothing you can do, man. Nothing you can do. So we might as well just forget about it. Do you know what I mean? That's so refreshing. So yeah, Ryan Kent, move on. Joel Pirro. Along with Manning, yeah. I've seen Joel Pirro's been linked to a number of times. Manning as well, but apparently Manning destined for the Premier League, maybe. Destined for the Premier League. But, yeah, look, Ryan Kent, non-mover for me. I'm not having it. Look, we know that Jack Harrison as well, we spoke about this already. Jack Harrison has a release clause. I'm led to believe that release clause is in the region of around about £17 million. That's what I've been told. Whether or not that is factually correct remains to be seen. This is just rehashing the Athletic article about Harrison having that release clause. I think you'll be surprised. I think, you know, a lot of Leeds United fans are like, yeah, he can get gone for me. Yeah, this, that. Loads of Premier League clubs will come in for Jack Harrison this summer. It'll be a bit of a race for his signature. You know, he would get in at, if I think of the bottom half, he would get in at all them clubs for me. I don't know outside of that, but, you know, he could get in at Wolves. He could get in at Wolves. He could get in at West Ham. I think he'd be a great squad option at West Ham. I think he's better than Maxwell Cornet. He would get in at Palace. Again, Zaha, will he sign his new deal, 200 grand a week, get Jack Harrison in? Trust me when I say Jack Harrison isn't a bad player. And if he goes, you know, if he does have a release clause that's around about £17 million, I do believe he'll be snapped up. I honestly don't understand like all this sort of stuff about people not. I don't get why you do not rate him. I think it's mad to think that people do. No, exactly, Harold. You're bang on the money. Harold's bang on the money. If Jack Harrison was a bad footballer, then why do Brendan Rodgers and Leicester want to sign him? Why you honestly, believe me when I say if Jack Harrison has a release clause at £17 million, he will be one of the first players to leave because they will snap him up like that. They will snap him up like that. I don't understand this notion. Like, for me, Jack Harrison has been, like it's been said here by Coleslaw and Toast, over the last 3 seasons, he has been second or third in our goals and assist charts. But he just doesn't. No, Terry, I think you need to come on. You need to understand where we are as a football club. If Jack Harrison was doing it week in, week out, he wouldn't even be at Leeds United. He wouldn't even be at Leeds United. He has 4 or 5 good games a season. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's not true. But yeah, people don't like him for whatever reason. But you know, all I'll say is, why does every manager play him? Why does all these other clubs come after him? So there's a reason for that, right? There is definitely a reason for that. Just looking at his time in the Premier League, first season, 8 goals, 8 assists. Second season, 8 goals, 1 assist. During that time, he got a hat-trick as well, remember? This season, 4 goals, 7 assists. if you look at them numbers in a team that's doing poor, it's decent. It's decent. You know, he's had 11 goal contributions this season, 9 the season before and 16 after that. I'd love to know where that compares. I guess give me a different player and we'll compare them, right? We'll compare them and see, you know, what their numbers are. Let's think about it. Someone give me a name in the chat and let's not go crazy and say Bukayo Saka or something. But yeah, this is the thing, Lewis. 100%. 100%. And then people are saying like, nah. It's mad. It is mad. Bowen. See about Bowen. Okay, well, we'll compare him with Bowen, yeah? That's a good shout. See about Bowen. So we've got... I'll put it up on a different one. We'll see about Bowen. I'm ready to be proved wrong, but I think that's a great comparison, isn't it? Because we take Bowen in a heartbeat. So first season or the season, I mean, he spent a season more in the Premier League than Jack. But 2021, Jack had 16 goal involvements. Jarrod Bowen had 13. The anomaly is last season because we were terrible. He had 9. He had 9 goal involvements. Jarrod Bowen had 22, 12 goals, 10 assists. But that was the season that they qualified for Europe. And then this season, Jarrod Bowen's got 11, so 6 goals and 5 assists. And Jack Harrison's got 11, 4 goals and 7 assists. So it ain't too dissimilar. It ain't too dissimilar. Yeah, oh no, I agree, Jamie. I do believe he is inconsistent. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is people need to realise that's why he's at Leeds United. That's why he's at Leeds United. Because if he was getting more than that, he wouldn't even be at this. He wouldn't even be at this football club. So I think we're far too disrespectful to Jack. And as I said, in a better team, he would do better. He would do better. If we'd have improved on our 9th place finish, then we'd have moved, you know, he'd have moved with that as well. But yeah, you know, that's why he is where he is. And you'll see, I think you'll see that his numbers will improve in a better side. His performances as he goes on. Yorkshireman says he wouldn't be a starter though. Who for? Magnus, as yours said, yes, Harrison delivers some decent numbers, Joe, but to play extremely bad in 8 to 10 games is nowhere near enough. The biggest quality is being consistent. But that's why he is where he is, though. That's why he's at Leeds United. That's why he'll walk into a mid-table club. If he was better than that, he'd be further up the table. But for those that just go, oh, yeah, drive him out, he's rubbish, I think it's madness. He's one of our better performers. For sure. You don't think he gets in Forest side? Really? That's mad. I think anyway. I think that's mad. Name a player from the promotion team who's still here and done better than Harrison. There isn't one, is there, Matthew? There isn't one. There isn't one, is there? So, yeah, perfect thing. Yeah, I'm just really surprised. But listen, you will see when Jack Harrison is probably one of the first names to exit for the price. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Dylan says people forget that Newcastle were trying to desperately get him at 17 million. Exactly. Leicester wanted him. But, you know, we know best. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, he is, James. He is massively. I've said this before. I can be frustrated at him, but we take him for granted. We massively take him for granted. Smash a like and subscribe, please. That would be great. Can anyone delete the bottom? the bottom two off here. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, this is true as well. Harrison is playing in a poor side as well. I think it's a bit disrespectful on Jack, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So as we know, Rodrigo, I've already got that article up. The Aston Villa's Unai Emery is pleading with the club to make cut price Leeds United swoop for Rodrigo Moreno. There's been this as well come from Football España. Football España. It is, of course, the news that Marc Roca is wanted by Real Betis. So apparently they're aiming to pile on Leeds United misery as move planned for key midfielder. But if I'm being totally honest, I think a lot of us wouldn't be that fussed. I don't think it's worked out for him. I do believe he is a good player. I do believe I gassed him up more than what I've seen. There's still some people who really, really rate him, and it could well be just due to the fact that it hasn't worked in the system that we've employed this season under Jesse, under Javier, or Sam. But apparently Real Betis, as new sporting director, wants to improve Manuel Pellegrini's first team squad, and the first position is to improve the midfield. And they're looking at they're looking at bringing in Marc Roca, someone who could alternate between experienced duo William Carvalho and Guido Rodriguez. Previously, obviously played in Spain as well, for Espanyol. And Real Betis top midfield target. Apparently, initial contact has been made with his representatives over a summer move to the Catalonian team. And listen, I think Leeds United will be happy to move him on. I don't think he'd be missed. I think we need to get a whole new midfield, Adams aside, if we're being totally honest. It's just not worked for him in England. I think maybe the move to Bayern Munich came too early for him, and then he's come to England, and maybe that's not really worked as much as he'd have liked. But listen, if we're being totally honest, it hasn't worked for any of them, has it? It hasn't worked for any of them. But like, you've got to use the same logic with what I've said about Harrison, about clubs wanting him. Real Betis are a good side. Real Betis will be playing in Europe this season as well. But we'll see. We'll see. But I don't think Marc Roca will be wanting to stay in the Championship anyway. So I think Marc Roca could exit and probably will return to his native Spain. I think that looks to be the likely destination for him. Yeah, I've seen apparently Meslier has been sold as well. I don't know who to. It could also be the football club, the 49ers. There was something earlier on. There was an Italian reporter on the BBC. I think it might have been Don't Go to Bed Just Yet, saying that the club, has gone through, if you like, the club, or it's gone through for his move to Sampdoria, Radwazani. So we'll wait and see what happens there on that one. But of course, over the next coming days, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. I'm not sure how much Meslier has gone for. If indeed he has gone at all, we'll have to wait and see. But he's not going to stick around, is he? So yeah, that's that, folks. That's covered your latest news. Get stuck into some of your comments. So just to round off, obviously Joffrey's going to return. I'd like to see Mateo Joseph. There needs to be a real decision on the youngsters, because we have a load of them. That's one thing you've got to give Victor Orta credit for. I do think that the youth squad is much better than it was before he arrived, but there was too much focus on that and not enough on the first team squad. Rodrigo, I think he goes back to Spain. I don't know what your thoughts are. I think he goes back to Spain, though. But listen, if Villa and Emery come and say, listen, you settled in England, you like it, do you want to stick around? I could also see why you would say, yeah, I'll do that. And listen, Aston Villa are a huge club. They're going places. They're in for the Conference League. If we beat Spurs at the weekend, they get the Conference League. Billy, Marco, do one with the bottle, will you? He's done one. Can you hear him chewing the bottle? That was my Lucasade bottle. He went in the bin and took it and chewed it. Yeah, just on Drame as well. Good lad, Joe Youth, who's made it. Nah, he has done well with the youth, bro. He has done well with the youth. But Cody Drama's not coming back. Drama's not coming back. His team, he's had enough time now and said, you've not given me a chance. I'm going. And listen, Luton might come up. If Luton come up, they'll buy him. If Luton win the playoffs, they'll buy him. So that's a non-starter, isn't it, really? I think he moves on. Jeremiah Mullen, not quite ready yet. I think Creswell is. I'd keep Creswell, but again, is Creswell of sufficient quality to play a certain style? Is he of a sufficient quality to play a certain style on the floor? I'm not too sure. I love Creswell, though, so just keep him for that alone. Keep him for that alone. I've seen that, what you tagged me in on Twitter, bro. Oh, my God. Jesse chatting beans, man, innit? Jesse chatting beans. Someone bumped into Jesse Marsh in York train station, and he said, they should have never got rid of me. That's what he said. As though we wouldn't be in this situation anyway. Bloody crazy guy, him. Yeah, he said they should have never got rid of me. And he's really sorry Leeds are where they are, and he hopes that we get the results we need. You're the reason why we are where we are, you big dosser. You big stiff idiot. Marco, stop it with a bottle, with you. Dylan's just asked another question there. Sorry, I missed it. All this James, Costa, Roberts, all them coming back, they're gone. Lewis Bate, I'm not too sure. Will he be ready for the Championship? Potentially, he's been doing well on loan. This is the thing, though. We need to prioritise a few. We need to prioritise a few and say, right, we're going to put all our eggs in this basket. The rest of yous are going to go out on loan, and we're going to fill it now with some of the Championship's best players and look to get up at the first time of asking. If you can keep Adams, you can keep Nonto, you keep Somerville, right? You've got Creswell to come back. You've got Strouk. Strouk won't go anywhere. You've got Cooper. You've got Ayling. You bring in a left back. You keep Joel Robles. You sort out the striking options. The team's strong enough. The team's strong enough. People will say no now because we are very negative towards our own team. But when you look at the rest of the league, the quality's not great. I agree with you, Jamie. You can't just play all the kids. So you need to get some Championship hardened domestic players. We don't want to be going out across Europe. For me personally, I think go to players that are tried and tested. Some of the best players in the Championship, like we've seen in the past, like the likes of Villa and that do. I've mentioned loans. I've said this on a video before. We never tapped into that properly. Because if you look at that Villa side when they had they brought in Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham was playing up front for them in the Championship. If you look at that Derby side, they had Mason Mount, Harry Wilson and Tomori playing in that side. We never properly tapped into it, Ben White aside. But even Ben White, we took from a League One. I know he was at Brighton, but he'd been in League One the season before. These came straight out of the Premier League youth academies. Let's go to a City. Let's go to a Chelsea. Let's go to an Arsenal and say, can we take a couple of them? Yes, you can. Then we look around the Championship and say, right, okay, we'll take Manning from Swansea. We're also going to go to Swansea and get Joel Pirro. We'll have him as well. Then we've got some of our old youth mixed in with some of our current experienced players. Because Ayling's going to stay, and I'm okay with that. Others will disagree. Cooper's going to stay. I'm okay with that. Forshaw can come and play a bit part as well. If Adams stays, if Nonto stays, if Somerville stays, we're ready to cook. I genuinely believe that. And people might disagree, but nah, Cini will go, folks. Cini will go. Cini's a top player. Yeah, I think so as well, yeah. Jack Harrison loan, nah, he'll be sold. Kieran keep Cine. Cine will go, unfortunately. Yeah, rinse Harry, we do stop over in hotels. There's 4 different stop offs. Jamie says, why, Joe? We need a real build. What do you mean? What was that in response to? Yeah, but you have to be Vober as well. Yeah, Vober, Carlos Alberto. You have to be realistic. You can't just sell everybody, folks. You just can't sell everybody. It doesn't work like that. Who's going to buy them? They have contracts. You can't just sort of get out of the football club. It's not Football Manager. For me, again, I might be wrong. When I hear other people or, people respond to me and they go, oh, when I seen so-and-so was playing, I knew. Who else is going to take his place? In regards to Cooper, I never mentioned Bamford, but Bamford will stay as well. Bamford's a good squad option for where we are at. What do you want to do with Cooper? You let him see out his deal. You just sell him. So this is what I'm saying. What's the point in getting rid of a player that is great in the dressing room, is a known leader, right? Knows the club more than any player at the football club, gets what it means to be Leeds, only has about a year or 2 left on his deal, right? Probably won't play anyway, but he's great to have around the place. And if we do need him to come on, you bring him on. What in the sense is there to go down and say, right, Cooper, do one? It just doesn't make sense. Cooper's on next to no money. He's the captain of the football club. He's been here for ages. He's not going to play all the games, so you keep him. I'm not saying to start them. I'm not saying they can be starters, but football, you can't just rip up contracts like Yorkshireman says. You can't just go, all right, we're selling you, bye. It just doesn't work like that. Bamford, I don't want him starting. I want a young striker, someone who's yet to hit their prime. But to then not, like, who's going to buy Bamford? Who's going to buy him? He's on 70 grand a week and he's still got a few years left. I don't think anyone will buy him. And you can't just rip up his contract. And John's on the money as well. Like, Luke Ayling, you know my thoughts on Ayling. I don't want to go over it. No, but it's not, though, Ishi. It's not, though. You can't just... It's not Football Manager. You can't just go, right, in a bit, you're gone. It just doesn't work like that. I know, Paul, I know. It's nothing to do with them being the players that got us up and all this sort of stuff. Luke Ayling, for me, can still do a job. So you don't sell him. He's only got a year left. Cody Drama, unfortunately, we didn't use him. He would have been perfect. But Luke Ayling stays around the football club. He's got a year left. Let him see out his contract. Then you say bye. Yeah? Bamford will stay. He'll be on 35 grand a week. He can't be your number one. I'm not saying that, but you can't just go, right, bye. Because this is what you need to bring into your psyche, right? If you sell Bamford, or if you tell him to go, as all he is one, or majority say, get out of my football club, you washed, you rubbish, right? If you do that, you then have to replace Bamford. As well as replacing Rodrigo, as well as buying a new number 9 anyway who you want to lead the line. So you now have to replace 3 players. Luke Ayling, you sell him, you now need to buy 2 right-backs. This is what I'm saying. Everyone who says, gut it all, get rid of them all, like, who's replacing them? You're buying a whole new fucking 28-man squad. Is that what we're doing? It's mad. It's mad, honestly. It is mad to think that you can do that. The facts are, Lee, he is though, isn't he? The facts are he is though. Because no player's done it. No player has no manager's played him. Yeah. Rasmus is still there. I prefer him at centre back. So I don't think Luke Ayling's deadbeat as well. I think it's disrespectful to say so, but it is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, I would keep Rasmus as a centre back. Leeds should get Dennis from Forest. It's rubbish, not pulled a penny. And he ain't any trees, has he? Narsini won't stay. Pervader not. Shackleton no. Shackleton's not been able to get a game at Millwall. Lee, this is not charity. This is not charity. 3 managers now haven't. Ishi says loan them out and get 50% of the wages paid. Get the young ones in with energy, spirit, and future. But right, okay. Who's loaning Bamford? Who's going to take Patrick Bamford on loan? Yeah, who's going to take him on loan? And you also just want a load of kids. Now let me just say, I'm not advocating Bamford leading the line, but you're not going to be able to sell him. And if you sell him, you then need to buy 3 new forwards, if you like. Who's loaning? I want to know though, Ishi, who's loaning Patrick Bamford? Who's going to come in and loan him? What level are we talking here? Because I'm assuming it's not Premier League. So are you expecting Bamford to play League One? Or another Championship club's going to loan Bamford off us and leave us light and then go out and buy another striker to replace what he can do on the bench? Yeah, Claudio, just on that, he's not homesick though. It's been lost in translation. He goes to eat Italian food, and it is what it is. What else has been to say? Let's have a look. Tommy, we need a whole new midfield. We need some new defenders, and we need a new number 9. That's me. What you think a League One club's gonna get in the bin? Stop being silly now. You're being silly. You want a League One club to supplement half of... See, this is why you're not speaking logical now. This is what I'm saying. This isn't Football Manager. You want a guy that's come down from the Premier League to Leeds United who'll need to replace him, but then say, I'll tell you what, we'll loan him to Barnsley. Even though half is 70k, let's say he's got a 50% wage reduction, so that's 35k we'll pay him, which is top-end Championship wages. You then want us to get 50% of that Barnsley. Barnsley's squad probably aren't even on 50% of Bamford's wage. Be realistic, please. It's just craziness, man. Right, okay, Lee, why is that? Why is that? Why haven't we seen Rutter for 90 minutes? Why? Do the math. It's not difficult. The reason we haven't seen Rutter for 90 minutes is because he hasn't got the facilities for it. It's as clear as day.
And so we don't have the capacity.
You know what I mean? But Theo, I'm trying to help people see from my perspective because I think it's the right perspective. Yes, if you can sell him for a decent price, yes. Do you think anyone is buying Patrick Bamford? I leave that pause there because I don't think who's going to buy him. Let's have a look. Just reading through some of your comments now. Oh, tell me, Lord J. Tell me, man. Tell me. No, Jared. You're going to. He's not going to be your number one. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense. Like all you see is sell them all. You realistically can't do that, man. You realistically can't do it. Coventry and Luton by Bamford, potentially, bro. Potentially. That could be something that could happen. What's the guy at Coventry? Is it Hamer? Hamer? I've heard a lot of good things. Yeah, I need to convince someone to take a Furpo. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy, man. You're crazy, bro. Rutter has a clause. Joe knows that. Yeah, about the clause though. We've heard about this game, but that isn't why he's not being played, folks. He's being played because 3 managers don't think he's of sufficient quality. Sheffield United would take Bamford desperate. I think he's better than Ollie McBurney. This is what I mean as well. For those, I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Just 1 minute. What's this guy on about? No, you're chatting shit, bro. 1 sec. What was I gonna say? I know what I'm doing now. Sorry. Just give me 1 second there. I'm trying to find it. I've lost it now, but there was I'll tell you what, I'll tell you where I'll go. Sorry, I'm speaking out loud here. I just want to have a look at let me just find the championship. 1 sec. Just want to have a look at their most recent game. Let's have a look. Right. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to share with you, those that say about the championship and all that sort of stuff. Sheffield United, this was the point. Sheffield United would take Bamford if they weren't that I guess issue with when we went up. I don't know if the fans would take to him, but this was Sheffield United's last game in the championship. Now, if you look at that team, it's not great, folks. Basham, John Egan's good ball playing centre back, but is he Premier League quality? I would say no. George Baldock, similar level to Leyland. Ender Stevens, John Fleck, James McAtee, exceptional on loan from City. We should be looking. Ollie McBurney's gash. This is a team that romped to second. The championship ain't all that, in my opinion. Bamford's better than Ollie McBurney. And I'll say that with chest. First game Rutter started was against Fulham in the Cup, and he looked really good. So is he not useless? Surely he has deserved more opportunities. Well, surely, but managers have said no, Magnus. Managers have said no, bro. You had Big Sam come out and say that he's not ready. He's not ready. So he's not ready. Chris S., who's a Forest fan, says Bamford does have too many injuries, but he's a risk teams would be willing to. He's better than Chris Wood. If you can get Bamford fit and firing, he's better than Chris Wood. I say that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the way the wind blows, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know with regards to Bamford, but yeah. What fight? Right, Ishi, give me some fighters you're bringing in. Give me some fighters. Yeah, Chris agreed. Yeah. Taiwo Awani's done really well. Done really, really well. And has scored the goals that have kept them in the division. Getting Bamford firing. His carburetor is what? Oh, carburetor. Yeah, if you can get him fit, it's good. What about Ings, Joe? He's not going to drop down to Championship. He'd kill it in the Championship, though. Danny Ings is second choice at West Ham, isn't he? But we don't have that cash, man. We don't have that cash for him to be second choice. You know what I mean? Lee says, let's see Rutter play, make our judgment. The idiots we hire, I don't trust them. But you trust them that Rutter's a top player, though, because they brought him in, bro. They brought him in. Bamford for Dennis, trade with Forest, would take that. Yep. Shea Adams. Well, he's dropped down now anyway, hasn't he? We might go there again. Yeah, I agree with this, Jamie. I agree with this. Definitely. I take Shea Adams. They brought Rafinha in. Yes, they did, Philip, yeah. If Coventry don't go up there, lad up top would do a job for us. I think he's already on his way. He's already on his way to Wolves, I think, mate. Romeo Lavia, Chelsea tried to buy him, bro. Chelsea tried to buy him. Man City have first refusal on him. We're not getting Romeo Lavia. He's not staying at Southampton, that's for sure. Morales, nah, definitely not. Yeah, the guy from Coventry's already, I think he's been linked to Wolves. We should have gone for him in January over Rutter, to be honest. We'll see. Look, there's gonna be loads of stuff happening. Alex Scott as well, Josh, Bristol City again. I think he's destined for the Premier League as well. So we'll have to wait and see what's happening. Yeah, they need to sell a lot of players. I think Lopetegui might be done there. Is Lopetegui someone we could take? Unfortunately, if we dropped out of the Championship, not. But could have been an option, couldn't he, if we'd have stayed up? But yeah. Ishmael Assay, is he still there? Tavernier from Rangers, potentially. Good shout, mate. George Hall that we've been linked to as well. Leif Davis, yeah. Leif Davis was up there with the top creators, I believe, across Europe's leagues. So he was smashing it as well. But we had one right back at the club. Mental. Listen, folks, we're nearly done an hour, which means it's 11 o'clock. Late night Leeds will be back tomorrow. We'll see if anything comes out during the day. It's Wednesday tomorrow. Yeah, nothing on really. I've got Tottenham opposition preview Thursday. I'll have my preview Friday. Saturday will be pretty quiet, and then obviously Sunday's the last game of the season. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But thanks as always for watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Yeah. Ishi, I want you to come tomorrow with some players that have fight for me. All right, bro.